Is that an XK140 fixed head coupe?
How are you? Is this yours? I'm great. I'm Michael.
Hi, Michael. Rod Francis.
Nice to meet you, Rob.
How you doing, Matt
Can I ask you a
Mankiewicz?
couple of questions about the car? Sure. Welcome to Be Terrific. Say hello to the Terrific.
Hi, the Terrific. Nice
So-
to meet you all.
So here, take this. I'll get this one. Hold that close to your mouth if you don't mind. How long have you had the car?
I've had this just over a year. Got it in Montecito, California, from a friend of mine who I managed to. I traded one of the cars that I had for it. I had a 550 Maranello Ferrari that he had previously owned, and we had done a nice swap, so it worked out well.
So
There
instead
you
of
go.
telling everybody what a Jaguar E-Type is worth in top condition, we can say it's worth one 550 Maranello.
Oh, and then some. Yeah, this is a bit more than the Maranello, but yeah.
What drew you to this car? I feel like guys who love Jaguars, like they love Jaguars, and it's something they have to have.
Well, this particular car, what got me involved or interested in the Jaguars is my father had one when I was a little kid, and I always wanted one back, and I got the car back. So a friend of mine actually saw this sitting in Montecito, California, with a for sale sign on it, and I had called him, and he said, "You know what?" He goes, "The one car that I had that I really missed was a 550 Maranello that I owned, and I just happened to own the same car that he previously owned." So I flew out with shipped the car out, flew out, and we traded it, and it's worked out well.
Wow,
What
very
year
cool.
is it again?
This car is a 67.
Okay, so it's Series 2, 4.2 liter engine.
No, it's a Series 1.
Oh.
So this is a Series 1. The car was produced in November of 1966, so it's a true Series 1 with covered headlights. Everything matches on it. Everything's correct.
The 550 was a 99?
The 550 was a 97.
97.
Right.
Very nice. Can we pop the hood and take a look?
Sure.
It's a
Yeah.
12-cylinder, correct?
No, this is the 6-cylinder.
6-cylinder.
Okay, the Series 1s would be a 6-cylinder. So from 1961 to 1964, they were Series 1 3.8s.
Which is a little bit easier to maintain. Is that correct? A lot of the trouble with the with the other cars were the 12-cylinder.
Well, the 12 cylinders were basically, they wound up taking all the purity out of the car. This is still, the original car of what it was meant to be. Like I said, 61 to 64, they were 3.8 liter with covered headlights. 65 to early production 67, they were Series 1s that were 4.2 liter. Same horsepower rating as the 3.8, which was 265 horsepower.
A little bit more torque, right?
A little bit more torque, yeah. The biggest difference is that the 65 to 67s came with the synchro mesh gearbox, synchro first, as opposed to what they would call a Moss crash box. So the transmission is much more forgiving. And then mid-year 67, they were called basically Series 1 1/4s. So they had open headlights and the same 3 carburetors, and then they had 1.5s, which were even later, which were open headlights, and 2 Stromberg carburetors instead of the 3 SUs. So this is the last of what would be.
This car looks restored to a very high level.
Very high level, yeah.
And how old is the restoration?
The restoration is 2 years since it was completed. It was done out in Scotts Valley, California. To a very high level.
Start out with a California car?
Actually, the car was originally a New York car. The car was sold from Max Hoffman in New York.
Wow.
To someone who lived in New York City.
Yeah.
And then it made its way out to California.
Yeah, Max Hoffman in the 60s imported just about everything.
Yeah.
Except maybe Ferraris. That was Luigi Canetti's thing. But
Right.
he had BMW, he had Jaguar, he had quite a few other makes as well.
Right.
This is a hard top that comes off.
Right. That's a factory removable hard top, and the soft top you could see is
Underneath.
Is underneath there. Yes.
How does it drive?
Drives fantastic. I've had this car on the racetrack up at Monticello for an event that was held there last October, and the nicest part of this car to me is the drive. Not only does it look great, but the drive is incredible. Yeah, it's spectacular.
Is it possible you could start it up for us?
Sure.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
I'll take that from you. Yes, thank you. Oh, this is. I got to tell you, it is beautiful, Matt. This is something special. And we got to get a shot of the interior too. It's gorgeous interior. I know the Terrifics are going nuts over this car. Everybody thinks it's beautiful. Here we go. I like how he's got California tags on it.
Love how that fired up.
It's got a good sound. Matt?
Yeah.
This is a very distinct sound, but it's got a good sound.
Absolutely. And the XK engine, as we said, started out in the XK 120 and continued on in production until the Series 3 XJ6 well into the 1980s.
I was just saying to Matt, it's got a great sound. It's a very unique sound.
Yeah, it's a stainless system.
Love those Michelin XWXs on the car too. Those were probably hard to find too, I would guess.
I did get the wire wheels or competition lace wire wheels. So you'll notice that the lace comes to the outer edge, so it gives it a little bit more strength on the outer portion of the rim. And the XWXs would be period correct.
Yeah,
you saw it on a lot of these back in the late 60s and early 70s on Ferraris as well.
Exactly. A lot of the Terrifics, the audience is saying the car is very smooth. It has a very smooth sound. It's a very smooth car.
Right.
It's part of the appeal.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, everything that was restored on this car was done. It was completely taken apart. Everything was engineered correctly. I've got all the restoration photo documentation of the trunk, which is just incredible. 3 binders on it. So, like I said, it drives as good, if not better, than it looks.
Was it originally British Racing Green?
To the best of my knowledge, it was. Yeah, the heritage certificate shows that. I'm not, I can't be 100% sure.
We need to get a shot of the interior as well. Hold on one second. Let's get a shot of the interior. It's just absolutely stunning. I think, as Matt said, this car is gorgeous and it's well put together. Let's get a shot of the interior real quick. Wow. That gas pedal's very interesting. It looks like it's just a piece of sheet metal.
It's just a piece of sheet metal. That's pretty much it. Hinged on, you've got kind of a hinge on the top and a pivot on the bottom. But yeah, it's just metal.
Well, it's a very beautiful example. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're very welcome.
And good luck here and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Okay, pleasure.
Thanks so much. What a beautiful example of a X-Type.
Well, that is, an
E-Type, rather.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well,
losing my mind.
It is an E-Type, as it says on the deck lid.
Yeah.
But it was marketed in the States as the XKE, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people still identify it as such. A British person might still call it an E-Type, but now the reason why it's called an E-Type is because it's a direct descendant to the D-Type, which was a car that won Le Mans back in the 50s, all those times.
He knows his car stuff, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like a cash register or a calculator just running the numbers when he talks.
And if you ever saw a D-Type, which I don't see any here today, you'll see the resemblance, the evolution from D-Type to E-Type in terms of styling. And this is
XK140.
Yeah.
Now the XK120 was a very popular car
what
as well.
What was I saying about winning Le Mans? See that? Winner Le Mans, 1951 to 3, 51, 52, 53.
This is a beautiful car as
well.
well.
Also ended up beating some Cunninghams in the process.
Look at this interior. Look at where it's an automatic. Look at where the shifter